Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Straw Hat Luke channel. Let me get us off the starting soon screen. What is up? What is good, chat? You know what I forgot to do before we got started? Get my phone to pull up the video and be able to talk to chat without having to mess up my setup. Either way, doesn't matter. We are here. We're going to be reading chapter 1160 of One Piece. So this is technically my first actual read through of the chapter. I gave it a brief, like 5-minute quick read when I was at work and it dropped because it was a bit of a wait for this one, you know. The gracious gods of scanlations didn't drop us until what, like Friday afternoon, Cube?
Yep.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a wait, so I had to dive right into the chapter. Read it in like 5 minutes. Yeah. So, Cube, how you doing today before we get started?
Listen, man. I'm doing great. As you know, the flashback and this entire arc has been just goated, but
yeah,
people think this is the God Valley incident. This is the Goat Valley incident because we're about to see so many goats, and yeah.
Oh, focus, don't mess up on me now. People don't want to see me having to mess with my camera on stream. All right, we are still good. So yes, I have to agree. So far, everything we've gotten from this flashback, I was feeling flashback fatigue. The chapters were good. They were hitting me. It was just, I was so ready to get back to, you know, the fact that Emu is on Elbaf right now. That, you know, I was getting a little bit of flashback fatigue, and I had said that to you. I think it was like two or three chapters ago, just 2 chapters ago, exactly. I remember exactly the live stream when I had said it. But yeah,
I mean,
it pulled me right back in. He pulled me right back in. Sorry.
Also, it's Oda fashion. He likes to do the flashback when the biggest twists are happening in the arc. Remember Wano?
Yes.
Just before the raid, we got the flashback. Egghead. Just when Saturn pulled up, and people were saying, "Oh, dude, there's an actual Gorosei in the thing. Why the flashback is now?" So it's Oda's fashion as well. Of obviously, and I think we still haven't reached that point. There's something we need to learn in this flashback that's going to be important.
Yeah,
be important with this arc because this is my one problem I have with the flashback is because of the jumping from point of views. You know, from Loki to Harold. Now from it seems Dragon Zebex point of view is that it's hard to know what is the point, why the flashback now, why in this arc, what at that moment, like what is the thing we need to learn. So I think that's one critic I have, but other than that,
I think it's gonna be relevant.
Oh yeah, definitely. There must be a reason. The timing.
Yeah, it's not just the timing. I think that whatever Loki's going to be giving, like he's revealing all this shit to his brother. But maybe, because there has to be a reason it's happening in Loki's flashback. This is Loki's tale. It is his tale of his dad and why his dad was killed. So I think it's one of those situations where I know a lot of people were like, it's the narrator telling us it's God Valley. You being one of those people, I don't think that.
Loki.
It started with Loki. And I don't think it's the narrator. I think it's him telling the God Valley flashback because I think Harold is explained to him exactly what happened. And why the world government didn't accept them, and why they became a target again by the world government. Because that obviously had to happen for King Harold to fall. So I think that Loki, like, really does know what happened on God Valley, and he is the one giving it to us. And it would be such an Oda move to give it to a character that we didn't expect. We always expected it to be Garp. We expected it to be, maybe even Blackbeard because of his tie to rocks or something. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I might have an idea actually. So for those who are fan of the MCU, for Ragnarok, right? For Love and Thunder, right? Which very controversial. A lot of people did not like it, but there was something that was quite interesting that from someone who did I don't know if it's an official thing, but it was one time when I saw a video where someone explained like why it was this way. Is that it was what's the name of the stone dude?
I was reading chat.
From Sora's friend. The stone dude from Ragnarok that stayed with him.
Oh my goodness. I cannot remember his name. I know who you're talking about. It starts with a like k sound consonant, and I can't remember what it is. Korg.
Yeah,
It's Korg. Yeah.
So he explains like because of how he started telling the tale at the beginning, and it ended at the same beach where he was also the reason why it was so quirky. It's from his point of view. So I wouldn't be shocked. So here's my thing, because I always said that there's a narrator talking about Harold's life. So I said, what if there's a reason for it? Is it's a bit like Loki. Something happened after those 14 years, or between 20 and 14 years, where Loki got the information that happened to Xebex, that happened to Harold.
Yeah.
Like maybe a logbook, and he read it all, so he knows all the details.
Yeah.
And so my thing is that and if that's the case, this could explain the point of views. Think about it. Xebex and Harold are the strongest of them all.
Yeah.
And Roger and Garp are equal in footing, and then Roger and the other rock pirates fall lovely over every woman all the time. But Xebex is the only one. What if it's because it's a perspective from Loki?
Yeah,
Loki
of course.
sees Xebex in that way. Yeah.
You just cooked, brother. I'm not gonna lie. You just cooked. That's exactly what I've been thinking, and I wasn't able to put it into words. So I really appreciate. Like that's exactly how I was feeling about it, because like I hadn't thought about it from exactly that perspective, but like I was like, there's a reason. Is he's going to show us in some way that this is Loki telling it. Also, Bushido in the chat. Shout out, brother. I have read the chapter only in like a 5-minute quick read, so this is gonna be my first like full read through of the chapter. Once we're done with this little cook session, because we came in spicy today, y'all. What up? Also, Nak in the chat. What is up?
What up? What up, Nak? What up, Paulie? What up, Bushido? I'm saying hello to everyone. I didn't have time. I was cooking.
But yeah, I do think that you're right, because he idolizes rocks, and obviously Harold's his dad. Like, you know what I mean? My dad can beat up your dad kind of vibes.
And he doesn't like Shanks, so it wouldn't be a big conclusion with the rock stuff that he's, it's like a football team. He's anti-Roger Pirates in general, so it could explain, because it doesn't bother me what we saw, but it is true that it's like, it almost feels like Sanji is supposed to be closer to Rogers than Luffy is. So there's like this weird, like, it's like the Amazonity trope, but like on steroids.
Yeah, sorry, I had to kiss at Nak real quick. So let's get into the chapter here. I do have one little announcement for everybody, since we got some people cooking in chat. So we have stopped doing these streams on the TED channel. We tried with the TED channel by itself for over a year, and it just was not working out over there. So we're moving this here from now on. Me, Kube, and Nak, as he said, will be coming back much stronger, braver, bigger, better. We spent $1 million to rebuild Nak so that he would be our cyborg shipwright. But yeah, so all of our streams and stuff are going to be moving here. So yeah, just to rip that band-aid off. But yes, let's get into chapter 1160, the God Valley. Man, some goats in the chat. Marth in the chat too. Give him some kisses. Love you, Marth.
So just to clarify, because Bushido asked a question, the server, the Eternal, is our ship. So the server will still be on. It just will be streaming from this channel.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The TED Talks are still, like, we're still the Eternal Dawn crew. We're just here now. We're on the Straw Hat Lucas channel now. It has a little bit more of an audience and a little bit more consistent audience. Yeah. So that's really it. It's not really a change. The Eternal Dawn is our ship. That is our server. We're actually about to breathe some more life into it. Get it going, you know what I mean? But yes, guys, I'm ready. I'm reading it. 1160, the God Valley Incident. And I just got to say, starting out, what a title. We've all been waiting for that one. I'm very excited about this, y'all. Very excited. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest, Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume. Why is there 42? Why is there 42 of these cover stories with Yamato? The Shrine to Odin and his companions overlooking the Flower Capital. So do you think we're going to see Momo or anybody else? I'm waiting for the, like you said before we got on stream, we're waiting for the turning point of...
what bothers me? What bothers...
The cover story, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
But, no, you're good.
No, sorry. I was being patient. What bothers me is we barely saw Kinemon and Momo. So it kind of makes me think of... It's a bit like when we got the Whole Cake cover stories. We were so focused on what was happening with the Germa that at the same time, The
Yeah,
Black
Kuzan
Detachable
and
himself
Van
said.
Auger, yeah, rocked up.
Yeah, yeah. And that was the pivot. So I'm wondering if right now we've all predicted that something's gonna happen in Wano, especially how it left and everything. And with the road pond, like anyone could come. We've talked like there's a possibility for Wano. Like I'm wondering, this is like they've been distracting us with Yamato and all the other people, not showing us what is Momo doing.
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
Kinemon doing?
Because Momo might be training as well. I mean, look at oh my god, Otoma right now. She trained and like, you know what I mean? Like it's
I think Momo's it's like with Rayleigh. Rayleigh left when Luffy was ready. He didn't need him anymore. I think Momo now it came to the point that, remember, Yamato was supposed to train Momo until he's ready. I think that's why Yamato is doing the world tour of Wano. Is because now there's nothing more that Yamato needs to train Momo. He's like Luffy in the last 6 months.
I have to agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what it's going to culminate in. Is maybe this is going to be the start of Momo's training, and then we're going to cut to, like I said, Moria might even show up. Like I originally said when the cover story first start, and take, because I remember we had discussed, is it who's going to be the Whitebeard that comes and takes Yamato off of Wano? And I said either Moria or Cross Guild. So I'm still banking on it. Let's get into this though. Feast your eyes upon the Davy clan. Boo! The most hated of people. You can go back generations, and you'll never find a single person who loved your kind. Shun them. Isolate them. You're just more buccaneers, aren't you? Ooh, that's interesting. That is definitely different from the TCB line. Are they buccaneers? Yeah. I think is what TCB had said. And you're just more buccaneers. Is definitely has a different connotation to it.
You know what this makes me think of?
What's that?
So it's initial parallel to two other characters, Orochi, the way they talked about his family when he was a kid, because and he was persecuted, and Rebecca being a Riku.
Ooh,
and you know, I've always talked about the fact that if you actually analyze in Wano, 80 years ago, what the Kurozumi did, they never replaced them as daimos. Like whatever happened, they made like someone didn't want them anymore, and Higurashi, who never really showed their true face, because again, I keep reminding people, we never saw West Side of the face. It could have been that Higurashi, we never saw Higurashi at all, their true face. And we based the whole story based off Higurashi. And Higurashi was the one who was trying to get not only Orochi out with the deal with Kaido, but made sure that Oden and Momo would not survive the battle with Kaido, with where they went down. So with that in mind, I've always said, like, what if the original, like, Kurozumi, he was used by Higurashi, used her fruit to actually create the event. Like, there's more to it, just like King Riku. So now I'm wondering, what if the Davy, they got King Riku?
Oh yeah,
the story of Davy Jones being cursed, being this horrible person. What if there's more to it? Like, he could be still like a great character, but what if the act that they're saying, they're making it like King Riku? There's someone else actually who did the deed.
Hey, Emu. I think Emu villainized everybody in this story. Like, I think Emu is the root of it all. You know what I mean?
But it's very similar. The way they're treating Rebecca.
I have to shout out Nak real quick. Said, I think he cements it. These idiots haven't got a clue what the Buccaneers are. They just know there are problems. So now a Davy member is brought up. They just assume it's the same thing. I think that you're correct there. Let us continue, though. So not so fast, folks. Don't throw anything yet, which, dude, Celestial Dragons being Celestials. If we can wipe them out once and for all, this is a blessed day. Hey, no knives, my friends. If they die, that's a penalty on you. Ha ha ha. They laugh. They laugh about it. Look how terrified this 2-year-old child is, dude. This is kind of breaking my heart. I love Blackbeard as a character, dislike him because he's a villain, but you know what I mean? It's still, I don't want to see this child go through this. And Bushido, I definitely see the Nico family resemblance you were talking about. Do I think they're connected? Probably not. Oda has like 4 female faces in his bag, so I think that's probably what this is.
Actually, I have something to show you. While we're talking about this, I'll put in the VC, and then later on I'll put in our what's called in our server. But this is an image of Nico Olivia when she returns to the island. Wait, do I have it yet? So look at the VC chat.
All right. Give me 1 second.
So it's basically Nico
I see
Olivia
what you're saying.
comes back to O'Hara, and when she comes back, she's holding the same type of hat as Blackbeard, which is, for those who've actually caught on, he looks very similar to young Cody Jones with the hat as well. So, but just a different color. And Nico Olivia is from the West Blue, but we're not sure she's from O'Hara. So
Yeah.
I could see a thing that they're from the same island. We've seen that in the past. Same look culture, so they look similar.
Yeah. I could see her being maybe a Marshall or a Davy clan member, but she wouldn't though. This does not mean that she would be related to Blackbeard, but not Rox. If that is the case,
yeah, exactly.
She would be.
The Vex is the Davy. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe an uncle or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you know how it seems that the mom is gonna be gone, and then you always see Blackbeard's. We know that Blackbeard is taken by a mother with two daughters. It could be a parallel, son of Rox and Zebex and Roger goes through the same thing.
Yeah,
they're adopted and they have siblings. It's just with Luffy, he finds happiness, and with Teach, it ends really badly. So I wouldn't be shocked with all of this. It's like Ace. He took his mom's name. What if her last name is Marshall? Just like Ace Portgas the Ace. He's holding his mom's name.
Yeah, and then Nico Olivia could be a Marshall before marriage kind of thing. I see what you're saying. Let us continue. We are still on the first page.
Not because Robin is her name. Remember, what's it called?
Nico
is
her last name. But she was married to Robin's father, her husband, whose last name would be Nico, and she would take that family name.
No, because they made it very hinting that she asked who my father is, his identity, and they wouldn't say it. So I've always suspected that he had a different name, even a different last name. It's like
it could
Ace.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but none of them were married, and the fact that Oda distinctly said that it was her husband, you know what I mean? I feel like that probably is his last name, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna sue anything down. Segregate them. Man, that's a terrible panel to come back on. I just have to comment again. Blackbeard, little Blackbeard right now is breaking my heart. That face is a face of true fear. And Oda nailed that emotion. As a father, that's wrecking me emotionally right now. I'm not gonna lie. You did well to find them, Garling. It was simply an act of fate. Now, let's introduce the favorites to win the individual competition. I'll be dead soon. Please take my boys to someone kind-hearted to raise them into men. Just don't let him have them. We still haven't seen Shanks and Shamrock's mom, right?
Which is gonna look like Nami. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah, you've said so.
I'm convinced of that.
I don't know who you are, but I want to save your kids. Oh, this is Dragon. Hell yeah. If I don't do something, I'm going to collapse under the weight of it all. We've already introduced the 13 super rare rabbits. They're worth 10,000 points each. We knew this, okay? In addition, there are 150 rare rabbits. The hunt will begin in 1 hour. All you rabbits better start running. Man, this is dark. This is like, I knew it was going to be bad, but Jesus. We just have to survive for 3 weeks and we're free. Just run for it. Our only hope. There has to be a good place to hide. Let the hunt begin. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. That's my celestial dragon laugh, by the way. Ooh, little rabbits, where are you? Hush, baby. Don't cry. Found myself some rabbits. No, just let our baby live. Please, I beg of you, and then 3 gunshots. Blam, blam, blam. So that celestial dragon just took out that baby. Rough. Very rough. Please spare my life. Don't kill my husband. The land of the gods, sacred Bourgeois. Whoa, yes. Oh, they're watching it at home as well. Oh, wow. The figure, I don't remember this part. I didn't remember reading this. The Figureland family is in the lead, but the Vet and Manmeyer, let's go Manmeyer, families are in close pursuit. Garling slices. Dudes.
I'm going to give my quote when I saw that part where they were basically live streaming it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 800th Hunger Games.
Yeah.
This is Hunger Games level of
Yeah,
depravity. This is
this
crazy.
is insane. Legitimately, I knew we were gonna see some violence. I did not expect them to straight cold clock kill a child like that, like a baby, not a child, a baby. Like that was insane. Like Oda in that one little interaction with the Celestial and those three people, those poor people, like just showed we knew how depraved these people are. We had no idea just to the levels of it that it was like that's fucking insane, dude. Who did you bet on? The shepherds are in the family competition. Gunko for their individual race. Yes, yes. Okay, I do remember all this. You sure? She's great, but she's still just the knighthood's pet, devoted blade of God. The blade of God. That's interesting. And look, she's wearing a very similar outfit that Shamrock was wearing when he first showed up in the story as well. Chalk up another excellent bonus for the Manmeyer family. Saint Gunko of the Manmeyer family is just chef's kiss. I called that shit right when she showed up. I said, that's a Manmeyer. I don't know why, but I knew it. I'm so also, did you notice this? Check this out. I can't zoom in, but if you zoom in on the page with Gunko, she has scars all the way up her arm. And I think that is very interesting. Because at first I thought it was just shadow, but the more I see it, and now that I see it like in the actual, those are like deliberate marks. That's definitely not just Oda shading. I know what Oda shading looks like.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's the thing we've always suspected. There must be a reason why Saturn was so they kept showing Saturn through the whole thing. So I wouldn't be shocked that they've been trying to alter certain stuff, especially the God's Knives.
I don't see. That's not what I was thinking. If she's being kept unwillingly, like a prisoner, like we think she is because of her ties to Brooke, we still don't know all of that and stuff. Like that's just a thought that we had kicked around when she first was revealed. What if she's trying to take herself out? And those are like the scars before she got that healing factor. Kind of dark, but with how dark Oda has been lately.
For me, the way it is traced makes me think that it's not just someone who is hurting themselves, self-harming. It makes me think of there is something definitely off, and that's what think about it. They also have her mouth covered. Remember the whole Katakuri thing? Because of some deformity he has. So I am wondering if they've been playing around with some of the God's Knives, or they've been using them, but because of the nature of their society, they have to hide it.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, now time to see her. Dude, this guy, I hate him. I hate him.
I'm so jealous of Saint Garling. He's gonna bag this beauty to be his wife. Look, nothing's official yet. Dude, yeah, this guy, I hate him. You got yourself a real high up there. Don't worry, you can jump down. I've got a nice cushion of thorns waiting. He's kicking the tree. Then we see the boy falling. Oof. Yeah, like this is what I'm saying, man. Like Oda went hard with this one. This is rough.
I'm saying this to everyone. Please, Oda. Pack ups. I want Summers to be packed up in the flashback, but also in real time.
Yeah.
We need to see the guy getting 2 major L's. Because I've said this, what Garling and Saturn have done is horrible, but you could see because of their worldview. Dude, he had no reason to not even do that to them, to the kid and his father, but also the joy of doing it, laughing.
Yeah, exactly,
that's
laughing about it.
Of evil.
Very special. And think about what he's doing on Elbaf too, with the leading of the children and binding them with thorns, hurting. Ooh, my voice cracked a little bit. That's how much I was heated about that shit, and I still am. He has a different type of depravity, especially when it seems to me he has a penance for harming children. And as we've seen on Elbaf, and then as we see here, that's exactly what he's doing. He's hunting the weaker of the society. And that's, oh my God, that's messed up, dude. So we're back to Dragon, who is crying straight up. If I defied the celestial dragons and tried to save someone, He almost pukes at the sight of all of the dead bodies. My entire platoon will be beheaded. Then we go back to his platoon. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Now we know. There was something, 2 moments in the rev that was very important for me with Dragon, was with Kuma and with. So there was a scene during the flashback. So when Kuma explained like what he would really want for the world, he, which is, obviously he's a pacifist, and it was about Dragon that he respected. And remember with Sabo, it was when he was a kid and he questioned those kind of stuff. And this chapter, where we say Dragon, is, well, obviously you and I have talked about that, but the community in general, Agenda Peace are now loving Dragon for being,
which is wild.
Yeah.
With all the people I've heard call him bum, I want them to still stand on that business. Stand on it. If that's how you feel about Dragon, and you felt that way about him this whole time, continue feeling that way about him.
So I do think that Oda, and I do think now that Oda is trying to prepare us for the Monkey D flashback.
I think so as well.
I think, and I'll explain my points why is, so we don't know why Dragon has been so hesitant. Now it makes sense. He's closer of a character like Kobe than Luffy. And what's interesting is Garp and Luffy don't share that trait. So I'm wondering if Dragon, he's his mother's son. You know what I mean? In personality. That part of him. Luffy gets that from Garp, or maybe Luffy's mom. Yeah.
We always talk. No, you're fine. I just wanted to add that, like, we always talk about who's Luffy's mom, which my money's on Tritoma now. But we never think about who was Garp breeding with, like, because I don't think he was married to anyone. But that's what you call a breeding, like.
So actually, I think I know.
Polly, hold on one second. Polly, stand on that business. That's what I'm saying. Stay with your convictions. If you think he's a bum, still think he's a bum, please. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so remember when we got, I think it was volume 27, the Skypiea volume, right? Where Luffy had had the wings of a Skypieans and his eyes closed, right?
Yes.
And as we know, Randy Troy, I think, is the first one I think about. People have made theories about, like, part of Luffy's lineage comes from Shandora. Making parallels with Dragon, Kalgara. So the symbol that he keeps wearing, right? If it's a symbol that connects to a culture that him and Luffy share, right? But this is my thing. Right?
It would be Luffy's grandmother.
Yeah. So what if Luffy's mom connects to the culture of the Shandorans? That's their symbol, like the Shimotsuki crest that they have all over. But you ready for this? The plot twist. We know that 400 years ago there was a missing eye, right?
Yeah.
And then 800 years ago they had to be complete. So you know how Shandora separated from Jaya?
Yeah.
What if Luffy's family is from the Blue Sea, but it's from that missing eye? That's why in the cover they showed Luffy with the same.
Always holding his eye and stuff like that, or closing it.
So I'm not saying that they're from Shandora, but they could be from the part that was connected to Shandora a long time ago, that was sent somewhere else in the Blue Sea. Originally from the Dragon side of the family.
They got me. Yeah, no, see, I was thinking with what you were saying, like maybe Luffy's grandmother, because then that would explain why Luffy doesn't have wings, because he only has a quarter of that in him. You know what I mean? But I'm going to continue now. So we see more from Dragon. Like I said, we see his platoon. Is everyone here then? Of course, sir. Stupid Dragon, where has he gone? He'd better not be on that island. Ooh, so this guy is looking for Dragon. Wait, hat? Is that a Kainu? Is that a Kainu? You think that's a Kainu?
Which one?
The guy whose face we aren't seeing, who's like, sir.
No. And remember, a Kainu doesn't join the Marines until 33 years ago.
Yep, you're right. I found him, another Celestial Dragon. The 10,000 point Buccaneer. Ooh. Here's some Ivankov. Don't waste your time dreaming of salvation from this sick game. We have to escape the game itself. Let's get off of God Valley together. Dragon says they've still got hope. Ugh. And then the Celestial Dragon says, get a taste of my killer 10-shot rifle as he targets Mr. Kuma. We see a gunshot. Boom. Oh. But it's Dragon. Knocking the Celestial Dragon out. See, this was like one of the big parts I remembered really well from the chapter from my real quick read through.
Yes.
Is Dragon knocking out... Sorry, I got a text from my boss and it distracted me for a second. Pepsi Dragon knocking. Sorry, guys. I work at a convenience store, and she messaged me something about Pepsi. That's my bad. Him knocking out the Celestial Dragon with the Tranquilizer is just such a Luffy move. He didn't hesitate. He just immediately was like, boom. So to the east of the island, we see an explosion. The Celestial Dragon's turn. What is it? It's the Rocks pirates, and not just them. There are all kinds of pirate crews pulling up. Another callback to Marineford. All right, let's go, dude. I love the parallels going on. And then we get a really good shot of the rocks here. All right, folks, Shaki treasure devil fruits. There's no point to us killing each other over them. That's telling. I feel like that's important. The fact that he said kill, I still think someone in the Rocks crew is going to be the one that takes him out primarily.
I still feel like the squad will be Whitebeard, the way he reacted in Marineford.
I do too. He cried.
I think it had to be Whitebeard.
I think it had to be Whitebeard too. By Sengoku.
Got tricked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm starting to think it as well. Or maybe Ryu, because he has the big X on his chin, like Drake. I don't know. But Whitebeard is... that is suspect numero uno.
Mm-hmm.
We see... What is this guy's name again? Sunball? Sunbell?
Barbell.
Barbell.
No,
He's Sunbell's Rogers crew. Yep.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his hair now. Did you notice that? He doesn't have the same kind of hair. But we can't split Shaki. He's gonna fall in love with whoever saves her first, obviously. Yeah, you're not gonna beat me to her. Shaki's gonna fall in love with whoever gets the most treasure. You have fun with that. I'm just concerned about my friend. And if she falls in love with me, well, I'm not complaining. Okay, Whitebeard, I see you, bro. What are you talking about, Newgate? It's to see this. I can't wait to see this play out in the anime. I'm not gonna lie. But if I save Shaki, then maybe Roger will be grateful to me and... Wang Ji stayed behind on the island. We'll ban him from the bar. From her bar. You're all fools. The entire world could turn upside down and Shaki never pay attention to you. Facts. Linlin's spitting. Are you really gonna give me a devil fruit, Linlin? Oh, Kaido. Yes.
So, there's two things that really I'm now convinced. So remember the flashback of Kaido when we see the end of God Valley and Big Mom's waiting for him?
Yeah.
I'm convinced now with the last two chapters that the reason why Big Mom was looking for him is Big Mom never tended to give him the fruit. So when she brought it up in Wano, I went to look back. Kaido looked upset, right?
Yeah.
When he said, "You owe me because I'm the reason why you have a devil fruit," right? I'm convinced he swiped it from her because he realized she was never trying to give it to him, and that would explain why he said, "How dare you show your face after what you've done?" But he's the one who abandoned her. I think he might have swapped the devil fruit. The second thing is, this is definitely proving that whatever happened after this, even the survivors, then they went back to Hashinosu when she was up to Hashinosu up to 2 years ago. So it's definitely they never were returned, none of them. So I'm very curious what happened to the point that they didn't return.
The devil fruits or rocks didn't return to Hashinosu?
No, all the rocks. Like even
all the
Kaido,
rocks, yeah.
Big Mom. Think about it. They had a home over there.
Oh, and then Wang Ji stayed. I see what you're saying now. And then Wang Ji stayed behind.
Wang Ji was stayed behind, so he's been there since 2 years ago. So that means that whatever happened, even the survivors never went back to the home they made in Hashinosu. So yeah, so it's like for me, it's like something definitely happened.
Yeah.
The fact that Wang Ji stayed up to 2 years ago, for 36 years, he was running that place. Something must have happened.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now. That's actually a really good point, Cube.
Yeah.
You've been spitting today, brother. I like this. You vibing right now, and I am here for it. All right, let's continue. Do you think Big Mom will be skinny again? I think Big Mom is dead, Bushido. I'm gonna be real. I think her and Kaido have fallen. If they do come back into the story, it will be in no major capacity.
No, they're alive.
I do think Linlin may come back, but she'll still just be Big Mom. I don't think she'll be Thin Lin again because she's old. We've seen what she looks like when she's skinny now during Whole Cake Island. It's not like Linlin did back then, you know? But no, yeah, I don't know if they're going to show back up or not.
We did not
Most
see a
of
body.
the
You
most
know Oda's
I know
rule.
we didn't see a body, but we kind of did because they were both laying in the magma. Silhouetted, but laying in the magma. That said, though, Big Mom has something that she is not fulfilled with Luffy, and that's he told her he was going to kick her ass, and he still has yet to beat Big Mom. He beat Kaido. He did not beat Big Mom ever. So I would love to see her come back and fight Luffy, like one-on-one, and even if he just like knocks her out in one hit, I want that to happen because he promised her, I'll kick your ass. But yes, continuing into the chapter further, we see the siege of the Rocks Pirates. Fire. Ignore them. Charge through. Look out! Some generic Marines shout. You're wasting your time, Navy. Follow my lead, Rocks Pirates. You notice they have a dead dude tied to their bow? like,
Yeah.
like that might be important.
Dead men tell no tales.
Dead men tell no tales, that's true. Oh no, pirates have arrived. What are you doing, Navy? If a single hair on our heads is must, you'll all be hanged from the neck. I hate the Celestials so much. So much. If a single hair... Oh, I just read that. Urgent report. Attention needed on the western coast. It's the Roger Pirates. We see Dragon snatches those babies up. Let's go. Are you boys staying quiet? It's a miracle. Oh, Dragon. My guy. What a goat, dude. I'm glad I never shit on Dragon. like...
Yeah. So to bring out the point, obviously, I've always, I've
take it easy, Polly.
Oh, take it easy, bro. I've always talked about how it's very interesting. There's a kind of a inversion between Shanks and Nami and the way that Luffy interacts with them, and between them as well. This scene is literally a parallel to Belmere saving the two kids, and she makes a comment how they can smile under the storm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite similar. So
yeah, Kingdom, you're right. Because you sent me that panel. I didn't remember that quote though.
No. It's I think it's I didn't have the quote in, but I know that by heart. Which we're big believers. Orca Kingdom was also another hunting game, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting what is Oda preparing between Nami and the Fingerland family. Like, what is the connection? I'm not saying she's a Fingerland, again, because, people are jumping to that conclusion a lot of the times when I bring it up.
Yeah, I don't think she is either.
There's an interaction. There's something.
There's something.
Trying to connect them. Yeah.
Maybe she was left alive by Shamrock, and that's how she ties to it. You know what I mean? Or something. Because he would have been old enough to participate in that. He would have been, let's see, how old is Shanks? 38? He would have been like 14.
39, yeah. He would
39, yeah, exactly. He would have been like 14, 15. He would have been old enough to be the lesser, dude, you know what I mean? Like he would have been out there.
He would have been 18. He would have been 18, 19.
Yeah, 21 years ago, right? How old's Nami? 20 or 21?
He's Nami is 20, so it happened 20 years ago. But
yeah, he would have been 18, 19. Yeah, but you're right. You're right. My math was off. My bad. But yeah, so he definitely would have participated in the Oikot Kingdom Hunger Games situation there. Yeah, but I love this. I love seeing Dragon. We also get to see that Dragon has another tattoo on his arm, which is very similar and very Shindoran-esque, like the one that was on his face in the future. Move all the celestial dragons to the center of the island. They mustn't be harmed under any circumstances. What's happening? It's like the end of the world. First rocks. Now, Roger! The Roger Pirates have landed. I'm gonna go rescue Shaki. We see the beauty of the Rocks Pirates. Who's that dude in the back with the cloud hair? The rest of you have a shot, so focus on the treasure. Pull the Navy.
In the back.
So there's Roger, and on the side that Rayleigh is on with him. There's a guy behind him that kind of looks like Frankie with goggles and like a little hair up. And then a guy behind him has like straight up cloud hair.
Yeah. Those are the guys we saw. Remember, if you watch the Laugh-Tale scene when they name Laugh-Tale, they're there.
Yeah, no, I remember. Like I've always wondered that. I'm like, who is this dude? Why don't we have a name for him yet?
For the people, because people jump to conclusion, I forgot the name of it. He does look like him, but he's actually a Roger Pirate. People thought that the guy behind Roger was Douglas Bullet.
Yeah, no. That's just a Roger Pirate. He's in that flashback too.
Yeah, but he would have been a kid, Douglas Bullet at that time, so he wasn't a Roger Pirate by that even. But he's not. Anyways, he's not canon. But he's not actually Roger Pirate. Just the way he drew him does look like Douglas Bullet. I did my research.
Yeah. So I love this because they just like step over Roger and they're like, take Shocky back. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Garland says he can't focus on the game. What is going on here? Just do something. Hold the Navy back and protect the celestial dragons. Now, how about we don't? The Holy Knights of God are stepping in. And then we get the Holy Knights with their full title, the Holy Knights of God. I don't think we've heard this before in the story, have we?
No. And I'm
No.
liking this title better than God's Knight or Holy Knight.
So do I. It is very cool. So we got the Manmeyer chick in the front. We've got, it looks like Killingham and then Sommers. Some chick we have no idea who she is. And then dude in the skull, and then a Yeti looking dude in the back who is definitely has a mythical zone.
Okay, so the Yeti looking one and the woman that's smiling. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm. The Manmeyer woman?
Yeti might... No, not the Manmeyer. The one who's smiling behind the garden. She, the tall one. Don't know if it's a male or woman with the two different shade of hair color.
I thought that was Killingham.
No, I don't think so. I think it's someone else because he doesn't.
No, you're right.
Look
Yeah.
like Killingham.
No, yeah, and she's got breast. Now I see them.
Yeah. Yeah. So you hear me out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think they connect to Punk Hazard. So the Yeti guy could connect to the Yeti Cool Brothers for some reason.
Ooh, yeah. See, that's what I thought when I first saw him.
And now look at the woman, right? Imagine her, right? Don't she look like one of the numbers that Kaido had from Punk Hazard?
She does.
But not saying that. I'm wondering if at Punk Hazard, the DNA they had as well that Vegapunk was sampling was DNA of God's Knights because they were creating stuff for the world government. So I'm wondering if there's a secret God's Knights and you think about it, if you're going to take your own Celestial Dragons to do research for maybe back then that's their first idea for Seraphims, who better than taking from the God's Knights? They're strongest warriors.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they've been doing something with the God's Knights, furthering the world government's power.
Maybe. I think we'll probably get full introductions next chapter for these guys. So I'm going to hold off on my full thoughts until we do. But I like the designs a lot. The Yeti guy seems to have something around him. He has something going over his head. I noticed this on a brief read through. And it's sticking out even more so in the official scans. Pirates are landing on every shore. Fight back, battleships. Don't let them disembark. It might be too late for that. All right, let me finish this out. The pirates are all charging onto this island. We don't know what they are after. We get some action from Whitebeard here. Who's oh, it's Shiki. Okay, I was like, who's that beside him? I need to get some new glasses. Hold on, don't chop up my men. That's Garp. Ooh, throw in that cannonball. Let's go. Such a good panel. Rox and Roger both noticing it. That ship, it's Vice Admiral Garp. Here I am, baby. Reinforcements have arrived. It's Vice Admiral Garp. Yes, we're saved. And we see the dawn over Garp's face. That is beautiful. What a good way to end the chapter.
For everyone saying that Xubex does not fear Garp, look at that face of Xubex.
Yeah.
You can see the face say, oh, this is bad news.
Oh, yeah. Garp has shown up. This is not good.
Yeah. As you know, with my Garp and Rocks video, I've always had the ideas that if they're not the same person, that there's definitely a connection between both characters in the way Oda has written certain stuff. And the stuff that Xebek's been saying about Garp and the way he's been handling, I want to see an interaction, the way they talk to one another.
Yeah, I definitely do as well.
Garp did not want to go against the Rocks pirates, which he only does that when he considers people like family, just like Luffy, just like Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so I think this chapter, some people have said it's one of the best chapters. Some people have said, it's for me, I think it's a tame chapter because it's not something that we were not expecting to some extent, but we were able to get a different perspective and more details of what happened on Kuma's version. You know what I mean? We're getting more. Kuma was a child, so it's actually cool to see to see this flashback. And I won't lie to you, the dragon looking like Kyros is quite interesting.
Yeah, you've been mentioning Dressrosa a lot, brother. Like,
Oh yeah, dude, it's like I'm convinced that there's a reason why emus I foreshadowed emu's ability based on sugar and a version of sugar's fruit. I'm
yeah.
convinced that the Luffy in Dressrosa and God Valley, that's Dragon with Sabo at the same time. Mix it as both. That's why you had both Luffy and Sabo taking the Lucy title as well. So I'm convinced that there's some parallels and inversion in it. So
Yeah, I really wonder if we're going to see Dragon get his devil fruit on God Valley. Because I think so too, because he doesn't seem to have it yet. And he's going to need a way to escape the Holy Knights, because this rookie Marine is definitely not. And yeah, you're saying it's going to parallel Sabo.
Getting it, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of parallels to Marine Ford, the pirates showing up, and it being like drones of them. But with this, like you said, this is definitely the Oikot Kingdom. I'm on the page with Dragon and the babies right now, and I am loving how much we're getting about Dragon. You've waited 20 plus fucking years, brother, for Dragon lore, and I've only had to wait 3.
This makes
so
perfect sense. Yeah, so we needed this chapter for people don't realize. Because of the contrast that we're seeing with Dragon right now, Dragon is closer to a character like Kube than Garp and Luffy are.
Yeah.
So now, even I, who is a huge Revolutionary Army fan, it makes so much sense why Dragon has been dealing the way it is. He is someone who thinks too much about casualties. Yeah. He's like, I think and I think this is what Oda's trying to teach us.
He wants to preserve life.
Yeah, and I think this is what he's trying to bring Luffy, Oda, and that's why he's been introducing Dragon and Garp the way they are. Yeah. He wants Luffy to have the same empathy as Dragon, but he wants Luffy to not fall back like Garp does for your ambition. Garp is the extreme. He gives up everything for his ambition.
I agree.
While Dragon is the opposite.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it's obvious that they all have the same level of compassion. But I love what you're saying here, where it's like Luffy takes parts of it from Garp, but in like a reverse, he doesn't want to step down, right? And then Dragon is just like Luffy, willing to risk his life to help people. And I think that could be. What? Go ahead.
I would say more like Dragon definitely is going to be him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
He's never going himself. He's always sending someone else. You know what I mean? It's like when it would be, I'm sure that if he pulls up in Dressrosa or in Reverie, it would have been much more successful. But he's holding back because he sees the bigger picture. While Garp is the opposite. Remember what he told Kuzan? Stop bothering me. Don't affect my freedom. And I think Luffy will be the middle point. He'll be able to act on his freedom while also thinking of that it's a war, not a battle. I think that's what Garp is focused about the battle. Dragon is focused on the war. Luffy has to focus on both at the same time.
Yes,
they're not doing that, and I think
especially because he's been through a war. Think about it. Luffy's a veteran of a war right now. He fought in the biggest war that the world had seen in a long time. So I think you're 100% right. I think Luffy will be very aware of the battlefield and how things are going in this final war. And what we'll see in Luffy, we will have seen aspects of in Garp and Dragon. What up, Dexter? Yeah, very, very interesting. Are you ready for final thoughts? I'm ready for final thoughts, man. You are.
There's just one thing in my final thoughts and it's the one thing I think you've heard me talk about. That because of how Skypiea, they introduced the God's Army, or the White Beret, and what they explained, and they did it when they apologized to the people of Skypiea. It's a parallel scene to Dressrosa when Fuji apologized. And I've been saying that what if something happened when the world government came knocking, and it forced the Marine in a certain situation. And I said it's quite interesting is we keep seeing the front runners of the Marine, but it almost feels like the fathers are standing still. But now we're seeing Tashigi doing other stuff while we focus on her, but not all the time. So I said, what if it's like in Skypiea? While Enel's not looking, the White Beret are trying to do stuff to help the people, make extra laws, Like, now think of Clover. Clover was arrested over 10 times. What if they deliberately let him escape every time? Like it's the same hesitancy, and so I'm wondering if now this is a proof that we're not introduced Dragon as the head marine. He's a behind the scenes. He's a Star Trek redshirt. He's a redshirt.
Yeah.
An extra. And so I'm wondering that there's been many times in Lockdown, there's been instances where the Marines were just bad at blocking the streets. What if they has an intention of letting some of those pirates leave? Dressrosa, Alabasta, the stars fell asleep in the streets when they got picked up. We only saw Smoker that let him go, but what of the other Marines? So I'm wondering if Oda's preparing us to tell us the Marine point of view. And we're going to see all the stuff that they've actually been doing.
That would be interesting, especially if Sword's a bigger faction than what we think. If they've been recruiting new people as they're coming into the Marines, actually, that would be a very interesting concept. I also like, I think about when I think about the White Berets, I think that they are definitely going to be a parallel to the Marines where, because they're incompetent, just like most of the Marines are, as you describe them. But they follow what is told of them to an absolute T. If God says it, then we do it. And that's how the Marines have been this far. But they have that change of heart, remember? So I think that is very telling. Also,
don't forget the reason why. Enel's threatened to destroy Skypiea.
Destroy, yes.
And he'll start by their loved ones.
Exactly.
That's why McKinley fell down and started crying.
Exactly.
Just like Fujitora did with King Riku. So that's why I'm wondering if long time ago, the Marines, something happened. And so I've always said that, this can explain why Sword is doing what the Revs are doing, right? What if some Marines, we don't know why, but it's been alluded from Whoop Slap. For some reason, Garp comes 3 to 5 times a year to Goa Kingdom, even now. And the last time he came after the Assault flashback, Hitarusa, don't worry. There were some ships, but I took care of them. I sunk them.
Yep, I sunk them.
I've been wondering if in the past, certain kingdoms were threatened, and so the best way to keep it. Think of Jinbei, his deal. The moment he became Shishibukai, the threat towards his homeland was gone. But the moment he did not become anymore, he was scared that they would come and one day barging in because that agreement was keeping it. So I'm wondering if same thing with the Marines long time ago. So that's why the Marines are hesitant to make a move.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then you said
because it has to be something. It has to be something.
Well, you said McKinley, and that's a very Irish name. And I immediately thought, what if he was paralleling Shamrock, and Shamrock will be the God's Knight that fucking betrays the other God's Knights once he finds out what happened to his mom in God Valley, and hears what his brother or something. You know what I mean? There could be anything like that. I feel like I don't know. When you said McKinley, I made that connection in my head. Those are both very Irish names. So what do you rate this chapter, brother?
So I think I'm giving it this an 8.
8?
It's as much as I could do, and the reason why is it's a chapter that we saw a version of it. It is good what we're getting, but for me, it's still superficial. So, and an 8 is it's because we're at least getting the context from all the different point of views now. So I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I really enjoy what Oda has been presenting to us with it's going to sound fucked up, with the Celestial Dragons. I think we needed this bit of extreme depravity from them because we knew they were despicable humans. We know how bad the Gorosei are. They experiment on children and everything, and we knew that this was going to be bad. But I really love how hard Oda is going into it. I was worried he was going to tone it down too much just because of Jump, but I'm glad they're giving him the freedom to kind of show what he wants without taking it to that seinen level, because it's still a shonen, you know what I mean? I really, really, really enjoy what we're getting with Dragon. Like I said, I've joked before about him being a bad father and stuff like that. Then I adapted the agenda that, he was a good dad because he was giving Luffy exactly what he wanted. But other than that, I've always been a very proponent of I'm just waiting for him to do something. And now that I'm seeing him do something, I'm really enjoying his character. I really love seeing just how sensitive he is to everything going on around him. He almost vomits when he sees what they're doing to the people, the quote unquote rabbits. And it's really, really interesting. And I'm hoping we get more perspective of him next chapter. And I also really hope we get more from the God's Knights. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give this chapter a 9.5 out of 10. It wasn't quite a 10 for me, but this is exactly what I wanted from God Valley. I wanted to see how terrible the Celestial Dragons are. I wanted to see Dragon, which you and I have been cooking on for so long about Dragon in God Valley. So to get that vindication has been amazing. But yeah, so a solid 9 out of 10 for me, or 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay. I think I get it.
Yeah. Get some heat. All right. Well, with that, guys, like I said, we will be back on when the chapter drops. We'll be doing streams on Friday nights at 7 p.m. EST, or around then, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe just a little bit later. We'll see. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody popping in today. We had a very active chat, and I love to see it. Love to see all my homies in the chat discussing the One Piece with it. And of course, I love cooking. My brother Kube. I cannot wait to get my brother Nak back in here and be cooking with us again. Cube, anything to say to the audience before I send us off?
No, I think everything has been said, and yeah, I can't wait to get more of this flashback. Definitely the best flashback until now.
Yeah. I'm very. I don't know if it's the best. I still have others that I've really enjoyed a little bit more than this, but I'm excited to see where this goes because I think it's going to be the best flashback. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me, what I say, I'm not saying best as like it's the best because it has
like not
everything.
definitively,
I think it's, but I'm gonna say objectively, it's the best because of what we're getting. We're getting stuff about the past, world building, Harold dealing with the other nations. Like if you compare to all other flashbacks, it's less centralized on people but on the world of One Piece. That's why. That's why for me, I'll say this. I'll say this. For me, from all the flashback, it's not the best flashback in terms of like how you feel, but if you have to take like without the emotions, right? Logically, the stuff you get in terms of information, I think overall for me it's one of the best flashbacks. Yeah, because the exposition you're getting.
Yeah, I see what
obviously
you're saying.
It's not my favorite. I was gonna say it's the difference between favorite and best. I feel like objectively you could consider this as a best flashback, one of the best flashbacks because of that. Then favorite for me, I have Kuma, I have Robin, I have Laws, I have Chopper.
My favorite. Fishman Island, baby. Fisher Tiger and Otahime.
As well.
I
compared to the Fishman Island one. The Fishman Island one, actually. I compared to both of them.
I think once this wraps up and we figure out what happened with Harold, I think especially then that's when we're going to see that parallel between the Fishman Island Queen and the King of Elbaf. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're going to continue this discussion in the Discord, so make sure you jump in there. We'll be in the VC for the next probably 20, 30 minutes, at least for me. Cube is in there all the time. Will, you jumped in right at the end. Marth, have a great one. Will, Dexter, Bushido, always great to see the people in the chat. Polypede, thank you for stopping by today. And of course, Nak, we will have you on very, very soon. But yes, we are going to wrap up here. Guys, more importantly than anything I said, or the historian of the One Piece community, Mr. Cube said, have a wonderful, wonderful night.